Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Pine Haven Homestead. So, by myself today. The wife is gone. She had to go take Emily to babysit. Emily's babysitting. So while she's gone, I'm going to try to wire up a little bit more lights and outlets in my garage here. Show you what I got. So far I got 4 lights and only 1 receptacle. If you guys can see this. 1 receptacle, 4 lights, and a light switch that's not even in a box. 100% to code right there. So anyway, what I'm going to try to do is run a few more outlets, put that switch in a box, add some more switches, and put some lights back here in this. Put some lights up in here. So that's the goal for today. Shouldn't be too bad of a job. Just run, pull some wire and set some boxes and make up some switches and plugs and set up some lights. If it's like anything else that I do, I'll have a harder time finding all the materials to get it done with and the tools to get it done with than actually doing it. So, it's usually the way it goes. Anyway, stay tuned. Okay guys, so I got some wire. This is right here, some 12-2 wire. I'm going to try to use this only over here in the wood structure because that's really made for going through wood. I got some 12-3 wire in case I decide to do a 3-way switch. I have to explain to you guys what I'm talking about. This is some 12-2 wire also, but it's in a cable, or I think they call it a BX. It's in a casing, an aluminum casing. And that's made for when you're wiring in metal buildings. You're supposed to use this type of wire. I got some wire nuts for putting stuff together. I got some outlets. I got some boxes. The plastic boxes are supposed to be for wood. The metal boxes are supposed to be for metal. So when they say that something's a 12-3 wire versus a 12-2 wire, they're talking about how many leads inside of here carry power. You'll be able to see this better once we get started, but if you guys can see, there's a black, a white, and a ground in a 12-2 wire. So there's 2 wires that carry power plus a ground. In the 12-3 wire, there's 3 wires that carry power and a ground. There's a black, a white, and a red. And that's useful for a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, I'll try to explain to you how we're doing this as we go. For right now, we're just going to run the wire and put the boxes up. First step is probably put the boxes where you want them. After that's run the wire, and then after that is tie everything together. Now, if you're just doing simple, single switches, which is where like one switch turns off and on one set of lights from one location only, then all you need, and just regular receptacles, then all you need is 12-2 wire. If you get into a situation where you got a set of lights that are being turned on and off from one location and also another location, then that's a different story. Then you'll need some 12-3 wire. And we may actually do that out there at the rabbit kennel. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's just according to how the day goes. If we do, then I'll try to explain how that goes. Alright, so I'm going to try to get my boxes set up. So before I start on this, I'm going to go cut the breaker off that this is attached to so that I don't get shocked. No more power. Okay, it's already begun. I've already found something I need. I gotta have a, let's see here, I was missing one too. I gotta have a grommet pop in to protect this wire from rubbing up against this metal and eventually, causing a problem. See, there's one here, and there's one here. But for some reason, I didn't have one here, so I didn't put one, obviously. And now, you know, I'm about to have the same problem here and here. Now, for the plastic ones, it doesn't matter. See, for the plastic ones, you just pop a hole through there and stick the wire through there. But for the metal ones, you're supposed to have the grommet. So I really need to put that in there. Assuming I can find it. Okay, so I was only able to find one more of these, so we're gonna do something a little different. First time when I wired this, I was in a big hurry just trying to get some lights in here so that I could work out, because I was working out at night. So I just, you know, I hooked it up and didn't have the right stuff in it. But anyway, we're gonna do it right this time. We're gonna fix it. So here's what we've done. We have ran, all right, let's start from the beginning. We got power that runs in from the breaker to this outlet, out of this outlet, into this outlet, out of this outlet, and all the way around to that light right there. And then also out of this outlet to this switch. I'm going to show you guys how to wire this switch here. This is a single switch. So I'll show you how to wire it. It's real easy. Then out of the switch, through that hole that I drilled right there, to this switch. Now this switch is more complicated. This is a three-way switch, and the reason it's a three-way switch, what makes it a three-way switch, is that it can be, the light can be turned on and off here, or all the way down here, there. It can be turned on and off there as well. So a three-way switch is fed on one end, switched on the other. That's the easiest way to put it in. That means that one box has the power and the other box has the line that goes to the light, or what we call the switch leg. This box has the power. The power comes in on this line here, and then power also goes out on this line to that other outlet. There's an outlet here. And then what we call traveling wires, which is the 12-3 wire that I was telling you guys about. The traveling wire that sends the power from one side of the switch to the other is here, and it goes all the way across over here to this other side. We'll stop and look at the outlet on the way. Power also comes out the outlet and goes back into the building up there. You see it run across? It goes back into the building, and there's one more outlet on this back wall. But anyway, so this is the other side of that three-way. So this is your traveling wire here. Power travels down this wire, and then this is your switch leg. The switch leg goes up to the light. The light's going to go right here, and then there's going to be another light over there, and I'm going to have to run a wire from one light to the other. So that's what we got. We've wired a set of lights back here that we got to put up, outlet back there, an outlet right here. This is the end of the circuit. That's the reason there's only one wire in there. It's the very end. And then two outlets right here that we've already wired. You guys didn't miss much there. And this switch here. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to wire this switch up real fast. Okay, so these green wires are the ground. Now if you're using regular Romex wire and not this BX wire, then the ground won't have the green on it. It'll just be bare, like I've stripped these bare. So what's inside this box is power in, power out, and then the switch leg that goes to the light themselves to connect the power to the lights. Now that little brass ring right there, or copper, I think it's brass, is a crimp sleeve. So you need to put the crimp sleeve over the grounds, and you need to crimp them good and tight. When you go to crimp these, be careful that you don't accidentally turn your clines this way, because then you'll dig into the wire with the cut, because it's a pair of clines or pair of side cutters. So anyway, do it that way. Push them together. Alright, so now you got good connection. Now you only need one of these grounds to go to the switch. So we'll cut the other two off. And then we'll take this and just shove it in the back of the box. And we'll set that out the way. Alright. Now next is your neutrals. Your white wires are the neutrals. So we want the neutrals to be tied together. So we just simply tie them together. Cut. Strip. Twist. Cut off the excess. Put a wire nut on it. Shove it in the back of the box. you need help shoving these wires in the back of the box, use your reclines. Alright, so now I can look at this and tell that this right here is the wire that's going all the way to the lights. And then this is the wire that's going to feed power on to the next room, and this is the power coming in. So what I want is to locate the power coming in, which is this one here, and this is one half of the switch, and then the power going out goes with it. So those go together like that. And then this is the switch leg. So the purpose of the switch, let me grab the switch and show you guys. Oh, lost the switch. Okay guys, sorry, I'm back. All right, so here's your switch. So what this does is you have power on one screw, doesn't matter which, and you'll have the connection to the light on the other screw. Again, doesn't matter which. And when you flip it on, it's on right now, these two connect inside. When you turn it off, these two are separated inside. And then this side is your ground. So you just hook the ground up, and then you'll put these two together with a pigtail. I'll show you how to do that, and you'll hook that to one screw, and then you'll put this switch leg and hook it to the other screw and shove it and screw it back in. I'll show you guys right now. So we're going to put these together similar to how we did the neutrals, except for this time we're going to have a third wire. We're going to have another wire that we're going to hook up to it as well. Alright, cut off the excess. Wire nut it down. Shove it in the back of the box. Alright, so that's one side of the switch. That's the other side of the switch. Alright, so this switch got a note. It's all okay. Alright, so this is one side of the switch here. This is the other side of the switch. And you'll want to bend a hook in it. That's what that little hole is for in your strippers. Alright, there. So now we hook that around the ground. I like to close my end up so that it doesn't come loose. I like to put the hook in there so that the direction that I'm turning the screw closes the hook. If you did it the opposite way, the direction that you turn the screw would try to open the hook. You'd have a hard time getting this tight without it wanting to come loose. Alright. Same thing with this. Turn it this direction. Sometimes you get people who do this for a living, they can get it to where that piece goes underneath that little hook right there and they close it without having to grab their strippers again. Or maybe I've just got the, oh, I've got it upside down maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright, so tighten it down. Tighten it down. Shove this up in here. Be careful with this ground wire that it doesn't touch these screws. If it does, then when you turn the power on, it'll short out and you'll trip the breaker. Alright guys, switch is in. So now let's go to the next one and put the next one in. The next one is a 3-way switch, and it's a little different. We'll show you how that works. Alright guys, so you got to get this yellow coating off here. It's easier to do this with a pair of box cutters, but I don't have any, so I can't find my box cutters, so I'm using a pair of scissors. But you just score the outside of it on both sides, and then pull, and it'll come off. If you are using box cutters and they're sharp, if it's a brand new blade, you gotta be really careful, because if you score it too deep, you'll cut through all the wires. You'll cut through the, the black, the red, the white. You'll cut through everything. All right, so to start out with, let's just push everything out the way. And let's get the ground isolated, because we're gonna deal with the ground first. I'm gonna peel this. God! Alright, I gotta go get a crimp sleeve. So I got the crimp sleeve. So we put all the grounds in the crimp sleeve. If you guys want a quick way, you can take this wire and you can put a crank in it. You can bend a crank in it like that, and you can just crank that. And that'll twist your wires up really good. Then just tighten up your crimp sleeve. Pick which one you want to use for your ground. Cut the rest of them free. Put this in the back of the box. Alright, so this is a 3-way, but that light, eventually the light's got to have 3 things. It's got to have a ground, and we just tied all the grounds together, so when it gets to the light, it'll have a ground. It's got to have a neutral. So, just like the other switch, we're going to tie all these neutrals together. So let's go ahead and do that first before we try to explain it anymore. Keep forgetting my wire nuts. Alright, so when we get that put together, again, shove it in the back of the box. Alright, so now, what are we left with here? Here's what we've got. We've got a pair of travelers, and they're both coming out of that 12-3 wire. Let's start by explaining the switch itself. This is a 3-way switch. This one's brown, the other one's white. I'm just using what I got. Don't pay that no never mind. If you'll notice, this one doesn't say on and off. The reason it doesn't say on and off is because that could be on or that could be on, just according to how the wires are. So here's what you've got. You've got a contact screw, which this screw takes either the power or the switch leg, according to which end you're on. And then you've got your travelers. These two are gold. This one's black. These two are gold. So what this does is you flip the switch one way and it connects this screw and this screw. You flip it the other way and it connects this screw and this screw. So maybe some of you are already starting to see how this works. So if I've got power on here, and then I've got the travelers on here, and this is a black wire and this is a red wire, right? And the switch is here. So right now, let's say I've got the power connected to the black wire. Then on the other end, I've got the two travelers here, and I've got the switch leg. And the black may be here or it may be here, doesn't matter, right? So according to the position of the other one, if it's in the position to where the black wire is connected to the switch leg, then as soon as I did that, boom, the light came on. If I do it the other way, and now I've got the red wire on the power, then on the other end, the red wire is on the switch leg, but that light switch is in the wrong position, so the light turns off. So at that point, you could switch this one back, or you could go to the other side and switch it back. And then it was switched to where the red wire was on the switch leg. Now, I may have just confused the crap out of some of you, but hopefully not. If that is too confusing, then all you really have to know is wire it up the way I'll show you, put the screw in the way or put the switch in the way I show you, and even if you don't quite understand it, it'll work. Alright, so we've got the switch leg, and we've got power in and power out to the next outlet. So we want to hook both these powers together, just like we did at that other switch. Okay? We're going to pigtail it so that we can hook it to the switch. Okay, now we're going to push that to the back. Alright, so here is the makeup of your switch. You've got your travelers and your power. Now when you go to hook these travelers up, these are your two travelers that are in your 12-3 wire. They go on either screw, and it doesn't matter which one goes on which side. It makes no difference. Alright, here's the other traveler. It goes on the gold one. And this is the power. How I know that is it's the one that I just tied in with the other two power wires. Power wire coming in, power wire coming out. This is a pigtail off of that. There, now your switch is made up. Put it in the box. Alright, so now all we need there is a cover. Alright, so let's go take a look at the other end of this with three-way. So here's what we got to do. We got to scar this on both sides. Alright, don't drop your tools. Okay, so hopefully you guys are seeing a pattern by now. If so, you can guess the first step here. We're going to get our handy dandy crimp sleeves. And we're going to tie these grounds together. Cut off the one we don't need. Put it in the back of the box. Now, next is tie the neutrals together. Now this is two travelers. They're coming out the same 12 3-wire. And then this one is this one right here. And right here, this is what goes to the actual light itself. Okay, so we want to tie this neutral back to the other neutral that came, you know, this is the neutral that's coming through the traveler. And it's tied to the neutrals that are coming, you know, from the hot. And that's tied to the neutral that goes in the panel. So you want this to be tied all the way back to the panel. Carpenter bee. Speaking of bees, today's probably a sunny enough day to go put the extra piece on the bees. Okay, alright, so now on this one, there's no power in this box, okay? I know that doesn't make sense, but the power comes on these traveler wires, depending on which position that other switch is in. So if that other switch is in the position to where this black traveler wire is connected to that black screw over there, which is the power, then this has power. If it's flipped, then this has power, okay? And as you flip that switch over there, the power alternates from one to the other. Now, this switch is hooked up to where these two are on the bottom on the gold, and this one's at the top on the black screw. And as they're flipping that switch over there, you know, according to what position this switch is in, if that switch over there makes the power go on this red one, and it happens to be, you know, this switch happens to be in the position to where these red ones are connected, then presto voila, your light comes on. And when they flip that switch over there the other way, then this one has power and this one's not connected to anything, so you have no light. Or if that one over there is flipped to where this one is on and you've got it turned this way and everything's on, you could flip this switch and then it goes to this way and now the light's off. Because that's what happens when you flip the switch over here. It goes from here to here to here to here. And the other switch is doing the exact same thing. And that's how a three-way works. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't make sense, then just, you know, run your switch leg on one end run your power on the other end, hook your power to the black screw and these to the gold, and on this end hook your switch leg to the black screw and these to the gold, and even if you don't quite understand it, it'll work. And I guess that's all that really matters, huh? Alright, I'm not gonna do this any more than this because I'm actually short a screw. Or, not a screw, I'm short a switch. I don't have enough switches here. So instead I'm just going to, hey babe, video. Instead I'm just going to cap these off. And I'm going to cap these off as if, you know, that screws there, because that would connect those two lines. Just so I can get the light to work. And I'll put the screw in there as soon as I get one from town. Okay guys, so all we got left is 2 outlets. So now I'll show you how to wire up these outlets. Alright, so just like with the switches, we got to tie the grounds together. And we get rid of one of the grounds because we only need one here. Now, this one's a lot easier than switches. We don't have to worry about tying the neutrals together. Because they'll both hook up to the outlet and they'll be tied together through the outlet. Get off me. Now every outlet's going to be different. These just so happen to be the ones that the straight ones go in and screw. Some of them you'll have to hook like you did the switches. Let me grab an outlet. Alright, so that goes there. Now, on this outlet, you've got gold screws and you've got silver screws. The silver screws are where the white wires go. So, for this one, I put the white wires behind the tabs and then just tighten down the silver screws. Some of them you'll have to hook them around the silver screws, just according to what kind of outlet you got. Alright, so that's like that. Silver screws. Then you've got the gold screws. The black wires go underneath the gold screws. Check everything good. Put it in. When you put it in, make sure that this ground wire, the bare wire, doesn't touch any of these screws. that's how you do it with 2 wires. Now, some of you might say, well, what if I only have 1 wire? Okay, well, if you only have 1 wire, then you just put the 1 white wire underneath the 1 silver screw. Don't worry about the other screw. They're connected anyway. It's fine. Same thing with the black wire. Put it underneath the gold screw. Don't worry about the empty gold screw. It's fine. And plug it and put it inside, and you're good to go. The reason it only have 1 wire is if it was on the end of the circuit. And then some of you are going to say, okay, well, what if I have 3 wires? Okay, well, if you have 3 wires, I mean, theoretically, you could put 3 wires on one like this, but if you've got one where you got to hook it and put it underneath the screw, then you can't, because you can't put 2 underneath the same screw. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to do like I've done these hot wires on the switches. You'll want to put those 3 together and get you a long wire and put with it, screw them together, put a wire nut on it, and have what you call a pigtail coming out. And then just shove that in the back of the box, and that pigtail hook it to the outlet, and you'll be good to go. All right, so all I got left is I'm hot. All I got left is 1 more outlet, but it's just got a single wire in it, so there's no use in showing you guys that. And then I got to hook a light up here behind me. Once I get that light hooked up, I'll turn the power back on and make sure that everything works. Show you guys the final product. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys. So I went to pick up some. I went to grab these that were in these old lights right here, which ended up working, by the way. And when I went to grab them, I stuck my hand back here, and there was a wasp nest behind this light. And they ate me up. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that finger right there, they got me good. It's swollen. I can barely bend it. But anyway, I got some wasp spray and took care of business. Oh, dang. Lighting. Terrible. Alright, so anyway, we finished this project up. This was this was pretty much an all-day affair. It is 3 o'clock, so it took a while. But anyway, so show you the final results. We've got an outlet there, and I'm going to put a cover on these. I just got to get a cover. And it is working. See, power's back on. See, currently charging. Got a switch right here, and that switch is for those lights. There you go, lights. And then we got a new plug up here that we didn't have before, which is good because we need it. And then we got a new plug on this side, which we didn't have before. And I checked it out, it works as well, which is good because we needed it. And then the big addition, we've got lights. And there's a switch. And yeah, I got to get a cover for it too. But anyway, cut them off. Cut them on. And you can cut them off or on from either side. And there's a new outlet out here too that we didn't have before. I say you can cut them off and on from either side. I got to go get covers and got to get a switch for this side. Right now I just got it wire nutted together. But as soon as I put a switch on that side, you'll be able to turn it off and on from either side. Got the lights hung, got the bulbs in. Those 2 lights should give off plenty of light here for messing with the rabbits at night. And then if we ever need to charge the golf cart, because sometimes people like to leave the lights on, they hit that little button down there and forget about it. So next time we have to see if there's a charger right there, because usually we shove a extension cord through the window. We won't have to do that anymore. We'll be able to plug it in right there and charge the golf cart. So that'll be good. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. I tried to make it instructional, so hopefully it was. I'm about to die. Anyway, I tried to make it as instructional as possible, so hopefully you guys found this interesting. and maybe learn something along the way. So if you like content like this, then leave me a comment below. Let me know. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.